Yo, how we doing, everyone? It's Chase. Okay, so this week we're going to talk Bitcoin, mark up fresh charts, right? We'll do Bitcoin, we'll do ETH. I think we're going to do an altcoin breakdown. I think I'm just going to go through chart by chart by chart, like no bias whatsoever. I'm not even going to look at the name and just tell you what looks dog shit and what looks like, there may be some type of potential for it. Because to be honest with you, some of these charts are like literally one leg down from being back to pre-bull run prices. Some of them are looking just straight up dead. Let's be realistic with it, right? And then we'll talk about sort of the landscape of crypto and what it's looking like right now. Maybe we'll even dive into some more stuff. People talking about sort of like a one-hit wonder. People who made some money this run, are they ever going to make money again? What's on the agenda, stuff like that. We'll get into it. As always, shout out to Prime XBT for sponsoring these videos. Check out my links at the bottom of the screen here. You get a 50% deposit bonus. It helps me out. Thank you. And let's get into it. All right, so Bitcoin, let's just mark this out, right? On the initial run up, we had a high put in. We had a low put in, and we've been respecting that ever since. High, low, breaks through, breaks down. We could see respect right here, flips into resistance. Also the low perfectly to the touch right here, and ever since then, once again, come up to the range high, get rejected, straight chop since then. Been constantly respecting this range low. As I said, I talked about this last week a bit. Something weird is going on here. I don't know exactly how to put it, but just it's been bought up essentially every single time. So whether it's eventually just going to give way, that to me is obviously a clear sign that we'd be headed towards most likely this area if it gives way, right around 23,000 or so. I would be watching for that. If it breaks down, probably any type of retest of this area is going to be a rejection, and we're heading right down. That's probably a short that I take. If it does something like this and complete scam and reclaims, then probably a retest of the level is most likely along, at least towards all this liquidity in here, right? Okay, so we'll be watching for that as well. But I most likely take that short on a breakdown. It seems too obvious, right? You have so many tests. You would think that if support does fail here, that is a clear indicator to pretty much everyone that this support has failed and it's going to flip to resistance. Reason being is that all these buyers are now on the offside, right? They're all offsides, and if price does come back up, they're going to use this retest as a level to get out of their position, and you're also going to have fresh shorters coming into the market. So you would think that you get a rejection off of there. That's basically the mindset behind it, is that these buyers are now underwater. They're going to want to get out. Plus also your new shorters who say, hey, look, we finally got some confirmation of a breakdown here. Rejection, boom, play the retest. We go straight to 23-ish. That's what I'll be looking for on Bitcoin. It's pretty simple. And we'll talk one thing real quick. You know me, I like to drink a lot of water. Relief, I think what everyone wants is relief. Let's be honest here, right? I don't know what we get, right? I guess my gut is sort of telling me that maybe we get a scam to get people excited, and then we do the breakdown. I think that's possible. I guess that's what my gut's telling me. Now, is there anything actionable off that? Not really. I'm not looking to long this level. Frankly, I haven't been trading much at all in this area. I just think it's a lot of chop. We have lost volatility for the most part, and it only continues to get worse. So unless you're a serious range scalper or something, this is probably not the area for you. Honestly, I feel like I could do decent in these conditions. It's not a matter of could I. It's just a matter of I don't think it's worth my mental energy, and I'm just doing some other stuff right now. So it is what it is. I think that's an underrated aspect of the game, is that a lot of people don't give themselves that quote unquote time off when they need it. And I don't say time off in like I'm still checking out the charts every day and whatnot. They're always up. But I'm just not like, saying, oh, I need to get into something here. Like I I need to grow my portfolio right now. It's just why? It's just, of course, it's always nice to make money, but in what type of conditions? In these conditions, there's a possibility that I'm going to lose money. I could just wait for something easier to present itself. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Move into ETH. ETH is pretty simple. We mark out the old highs, and we can see it flip to support. I'm literally just waiting. I'll wait for this support to get tested again, because we could see this support began the up move. You have a big, I'm on a 2-week right now, but you've got a big 2-week bullish order block in here. Take all these lows and everything. Give us a real test of the level, 1400s, mid 13s. I'm definitely watching that. And if it breaks down even lower, which is a possibility, simply watch for the reclaim, and that reclaim should give us something for sure. And that would be my plan for that. To the upside, we've, as I've said, it's nice to go over this stuff, but I talk about it every week. We know the levels, right? Anywhere from here to here, it's obvious shorts. Anywhere from 3K, all this liquidity up here. 3,600 to 3,200. We have the origin of the breakdown right in here. We can see it, right? We get support. Come up, one last test in here. You get rejected right off this. That's your level right there, resistance. That's where I'd be looking to short. But let's be honest. Does it look like we're making a move towards there at the moment? It doesn't to me. That's why I'm just zoomed out on pretty much every chart. How am I going to be zoomed in on these charts when there's nothing going on? Just zoom out, find some clear levels. We got an obvious demand level here that has never been retested. That's a buy. We have an obvious level here that has provided support multiple times. If it flips to resistance, that's a short. Simple stuff like that, right? And it's no different on ETH. You got this obvious old resistance here, flips to support, moves us upwards. Looking for this to prove as support again. That's a buy for me. If it breaks down below and I get stopped out, so be it. I'll let it, do its little deviation. It'll probably do, some type of deviation. It'll reclaim. It'll go. That's what I would expect. And if it just breaks back down to here, fuck it, it's over, right? It should not just break down through this level and go straight back down to the 700s. That would be very ugly, in my opinion. You don't want to see that if you want to, imagine even any type of bull market continuation over the next, maybe next year. Let's just be honest with ourselves. These charts look like hot dog shit. All right, moving over towards altcoins. First, we're looking at Axies, but we'll talk about that later because I got some more things to say about it. Actually, we'll talk about it right now. Okay, so Axies is the one thing that's like outperforming basically everything right now. And here's the thing, right? You have to be able to check your own bias. In the beginning, I naively said, this was going to be my next big short, blah, blah, blah. Little did I realize, because 99% of the time when people talk about these blockchain games and shit, there is no actual game. It's just a chart hyped with some type of a game behind it, but it's actually just a normal chart, just like everything else. The game is just a mirage to get people to think that it's going to be something special. So I went on, I kept hearing about Axies, I kept hearing about it, and I was talking about my short. I never shorted it. If you look at my tweets, I did say, look, this is showing obvious strength on the high time frame, and I'm going to be looking for shorts over the next week or two. That's what I said, maybe even 2 or 3 weeks. And then I corrected myself once I went on Twitch TV, I went on other websites and whatnot, and I was seeing people actually playing the game. Now, games, these card games like Hearthstone and stuff, I'm not a fan whatsoever. This isn't a gaming, podcast or anything, but I don't find much skill in those games, nor do I care about them, so whatever. But from what I read was that a lot of people were playing these games, so I went and checked Twitch. I saw people playing the game, 500 viewers, 600 viewers, and I heard that people from, third world countries and whatnot would be able to play this game and make better salary than what they could make in their country. So obviously that's very attractive. And to me, Axies is a game with a chart rather than a chart with some make-believe game. Okay, so I no longer have any interest in this chart. I don't know what it's going to do. Maybe if there's some type of an obvious short that develops over time. And when I say over time, I'm talking fundamentally as well. Like, let's be honest, is Axies the next CSGO? Is it going to be alive for the next 10 years? Probably not. It'll probably be popular for a couple months, right? So a couple months from now, maybe 2 or 3 months from now, we watch, if there's some type of a major shift in, market structure or whatnot, and we get some type of an obvious retest, sure, I'll short it all the way back down. But for now, there's not much to really do because I don't know the ins and outs of the game and where the token is required. And the one thing that I do know is that the game is actually gaining popularity. So, yeah, not inform me here. That's it. A lot of people can't do that shit. They can't say, oh, yeah, I was wrong. Well, I was wrong. I naively thought that it was just some random make-believe bullshit that was going to be a pump and dump. And when I further researched it, I understood that I was wrong, and I corrected myself. And that's it. Okay. Moving forward, let's check some of these charts. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to try to not look at the name of these charts or anything. We're just going to get right into them. This one seems pretty obvious. We look to buy down here. Yeah, you run all these lows and whatnot, right? Got a bunch of lows. You run them all. You get back down to this demand. Yeah, we'll keep the 3-day chart. I think that's good. Yeah, you look down at this demand level here, this strong consolidation. That's where I look to get in. It's going to be really hard to not look at the names, right? But I'm really doing my best to not even think about names and whatnot. I guess this chart looks decent. I don't know. If it breaks this trend line and whatnot, maybe it just comes back down to like here-ish. Doesn't seem like it's going to do the full breakdown, right? Like a lot of these coins want to do. They look like they all just want to break down and go right back down. This one doesn't look so much. Maybe you get another test of this area, run all these lows. That would probably be some type of a buy. Yeah, that's what I would do there for the most part. Weird chart, all these wicks, obviously someone's buying. If you run all those wicks into here, that's a buy. This one looks like it just wants to either do some type of a stupid rounded bottom here, like for a long ass time, or it wants to break down. Probably does the rounded bottom thing because it's the most annoying thing that it could do, right? A lot of these charts, in my opinion, are in a state where they're quote unquote annoying, for a lack of a better word. They just want to bait you into taking shitty positions, and you get stopped out on weird wicks and shit. And yeah, so that's how I would see this. I guess some type of a weird rounded bottom all the way into 2022. Okay. So let's see. Bounced off the demand here. Where's my box? Bounced off demand. I don't know. Maybe runs this high eventually and gets rejected off of this area right in here that began this high volume move down. Probably a short off of here. And then obviously it's up to the overall crypto market as to how it goes. Looks disgusting. Hope for a rounded bottom that gets you back to here. This area of resistance right here, and you sell. Pretty simple. Origin of the impulse move. This is the only level you pretty much buy. Resistance here. It depends. Resistance here, I guess. Oops. I guess resistance in this area. It's pretty voidy, but there's also action here. But I'm not sure if that action matters much anymore, because a move like this probably wiped a lot of this shit out. So probably voids straight to here. This is probably your first short. This is probably your second short, something like that. This is your buy area. Maybe if you run this low and reclaim. It's a lot of the same shit, right, guys? Comes down, does a rounded bottom, runs the low, reclaims, and boom. And that's the move, right? A lot of these things are looking the same. They're either going to completely fucking die, or they're going to do some type of a rounded bottom and some type of a reclaim for the most part over the next year, essentially. Because I mean, let's be honest, dude. Does anyone actually? I think there are some people. Does anyone actually think that these things are gonna do this and just like reclaim and go? I mean, I suppose it's possible because anything's sort of possible after this, right? Like if you zoomed into this and you were like, well, this looks fucking dead, right? Do you ever think it's actually gonna reclaim this level? Like I was bearish here. And once it reclaimed this level, I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's bullish again. But did you ever think it was going to reclaim this level? I mean, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, man, this is ugly. I shorted this. And then once it started reclaiming it, I was like, okay, I guess something's going on here. And then when I, obviously around this area with the whole stimulus and everything, things started to change. Once I saw the stimulus and everything, then I started to have a different opinion on things. But I mean, without the stimulus, does this do this? I'm not sure. And when you look at these alts, I mean, you just got to think like, what the hell, right? Like these things look disgusting, these alts. Yeah. Buy this origin of impulse. Sell. If you buy that origin, you sell in here, something like that. Towards here, anywhere in here is sells. If it's strictly a short, you're probably not shorting until you get towards 26. But if you're buying in this area, you're probably doing like TP1, TP2, something like that. Again, origin of impulse. You can rip through all these charts real quick, guys, and do this stuff yourself, right? Once you sort of get a rhythm down of what you like to look for. I'm a big, as I've talked about, I'm a big like untested demand or supply type of guy. I like, running the lows, SFPs. I like reclaims. I like origin of impulse, which is sort of the same usually as support or resistance. It's a lot of the same shit, right? Like if this was pumping, and all you did was mark out the origin of impulse, right, on the 3-day here. Look at that long that you get. You hit it to the wick. I mean, there's no one who can tell me it doesn't work. It's just simple support and resistance, and there you go. You get 220% out of it by just marking out the origin of impulse and the support level. It's really not difficult. Okay? If it breaks down, where's the next one? The consolidation's here. Where's the origin of impulse? Right in there. Okay, it's the same situation as this. You look for the down move, you find where it's the sort of quote unquote impulse move began, and there it is. The impulse move began in here. There it goes. Sometimes it's the wick, sometimes it's the body. I mean, it depends on it depends on what market participants are doing. If they're greedy, if they're aggressive, But just give yourself some. Play the consolidation level and give yourself some room on the stop, and you're going to be good for the most part on a lot of these. Okay, there's no reason to people always talk about, what's the perfect level? What's the perfect level? Well, I'm going as close to I can as trying to reveal to you how I see the perfect levels. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. All right, what else did I say we're going to talk about? Let's talk about some other things. We talked about Axies. I talked about that. I guess we could talk about the general crypto landscape. Oh yeah, and the one-hit wonder thing. Okay, yeah, because I saw some people talking about, a lot of people are one-hit wonders. Just made money, never gonna make money again. First things first. I think we talk about the crypto landscape. I think that things are very weird right now. Honestly, I've never seen weirder. If you're just a complete normie and you're getting into crypto, sure, you're still hearing about trading, you're hearing about Doge, you're on Robinhood, whatever. But if you actually dig your nose into crypto right now, I don't think this has ever happened. Trading is not at the forefront of crypto right now, in my opinion. What's at the forefront, unless my feed is just catered to piss me off, and I, as usual, I hope people make their money and stuff. It's just not for me, right? I don't give a fuck about, trying to collect digital land or or any of this shit that's going on. It's just not for me. If I want to play a video game, I'll play some Counter-Strike, I'll play some Dota, I'll play some World of Warcraft Arena. I like to play competitive games that challenge me. I don't want to play fucking Farmville or any of that bullshit. I don't want to play Hearthstone. I don't want to play any games like that. That's a waste of my time. If people are making money through those games, awesome for them. But in my opinion, like, people are literally coming into, the people who are really putting their nose into crypto right now are not even, are they hearing about trading, or are they hearing about like NFTs and digital landscapes and making, hentai characters in these games and shit, and I just don't know, because in the combination between how ugly these charts are and some of them completely untradeable and no volatility whatsoever, combined with the fact that you have these games that are absolutely flourishing and making big returns for people, for all you have to do is play a game and people are making these strong returns. Why the fuck is anyone doing what's hard, which is trading? Like, just go play the card game and make some money. So I think crypto's in a really weird place right now. I definitely think it is bubble-ish, right? I've always been a big fan of gaming, so I don't think these games are necessarily, I don't think, crypto, blockchain, and whatnot games are necessarily going away, but these may be the early renditions of them that fade out, quite soon, over the next few months or whatever, and maybe new things catch on and whatnot, and eventually it normalizes out and volatility picks back up in the trading scene, and things get back to normal. But for now, I mean, the feed for me is just unbearable. It's like half the people are just whining and crying, half the people are having a great time in these digital worlds and shit, which, again, not for me, but all the power to them. Whatever you enjoy. I'm not a person to, I don't give a fuck what you enjoy. If you want to put, if you want to play these games, power to you. That's all. It's simple as that. So there's people who are striving with these games. There's people who are getting chopped the fuck up trading. All of the miserable people who are still hopeful that these charts are going to turn around. Look, if these charts turn around, man, I'm going to be eating my words. But does anyone really think this is going to happen? I mean, look, it could happen over. It could happen into 2022, right? It could literally happen just how I drew it right now. But is it going to happen in a time frame that these people are not going to quit or give up hope or sell? It's not going to do this. I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. It would be amazing to me. So yeah, that's it. I think there's a lot of people who just need to still be rinsed and just. We got to get all these people out before some of this stuff is going to move again. And, I don't know. Shit is just weird right now. The landscape is so weird. It's so weird. I've never seen it like this. I was here for, the Ether Delta, ICOs, the big bull run of 2017, every altcoin going 100x, even complete scams. Even complete scams went 100x. Like, my bags, I bought into some complete scams, got rugged, and in the 2017 bull run, they went like 15x, and I made all my money back plus more. Absolutely crazy, right? All these different seasons, more alt seasons. We had this alt season, even though everyone was saying, well, alt season's coming. I mean, there was your fucking alt season, okay? People were expecting 100x, 500x, even though the overall crypto market cap literally exploded in 2017. You're not going to get 100x on every coin again. Like, people were just smoking. Like, things like, Polkadot and whatnot, that was alt season. Kusama, that was alt season. FTT, Doge, UTK, you name any big crypto. Link, that was alt season. Rune, there was all these different ones that went flying, and now they've all crashed back to whatever levels they're at. Like I said in the beginning, basically one leg down from being back to pre-bull run prices. Pretty much one leg down is all you need, and all these things are back down to where they used to be. So that was your bull run. That was your alt run. Could there be another one in the future? There always certainly can be. It's just I don't think it's necessarily coming within the next month or two like some people are talking about. I think, well into 2022, maybe we could see some type of a strong recovery, get back towards these areas, right? in 2022, and have some tests of some major resistance levels. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I think one hit wonder topic. I think we'll save it for next week. I think we covered a lot today. Probably already over the typical time that I do by far. And yeah, just keep in mind, guys. We'll talk about it real quick, but just keep in mind that a lot of people do say the whole one hit wonder thing, like, oh, some people came in, they made their money, and that's it. You had a good run, never gonna happen again. Just remember that if you had the some people obviously got lucky and they came in and whatnot, but if you had the let's just say intelligence, for lack of a better word, but if you had the intelligence to stick around and give it your all, that just means that you can give it your all somewhere else too and still do well. It's obvious that there was more money flowing than usual, and of course that is not only because just crypto in general, but because stimulus and the whole world just had more money flowing in general. But there's always going to be opportunities in the future. If you didn't play it perfectly, don't beat yourself up about it. Just get better and be ready for next time. And just know that if you could do it and you made some money, you could probably make some money again. It's not the end of the world. All right. We'll talk about that more next week, though. I don't really want to dive into a big psychological session after we just did all this right now. I think we're good. All right. So thank you very much, everybody, and I hope you all have a great week. Talk to you next week.